Hi everyone, this is Amy from the Helms Academy, and today we're going to be talking about mixed numbers and improper fractions and how to change between the two. So our objectives for today are to define mixed numbers and improper fractions, then to be able to change a mixed number into an improper fraction, and the opposite. We'll change an improper fraction into a mixed number. All right, so let's define our terms first. Mixed numbers. What this means is it's a whole number with a fraction attached to it. So for example, you'll see here 1 3/4. Well, that would mean we have one whole, like the first circle that you see, all the squares are covered, and then 3/4 of another circle, so 3 out of 4 parts there. It all comes together into 1 3/4. An improper fraction is a fraction that has a larger numerator than denominator. So the top number is bigger than the bottom number. It's improper because the proper way to write it would be as a whole number or mixed number, depending on what the solution is. In this situation, we see 10/4. So we know that 10, the numerator, is larger than the denominator. So think of it this way. If we only have 4 total slices, like the denominator says, and you ate 10 of them, that's not possible, right? There were only 4 to begin with. So the improper fraction actually means that there were multiple wholes in there. So we would say, well, you ate 4 slices, that would be 4, and then you ate 4 slices again, that would be 8, and then you had to eat 2 more slices to get to 10. So you can see that mapped out on our circles here. All right, so if we want to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, we need to follow these steps. First, you need to divide the top number by the bottom number. Second, put the whole number answer first. And then third, put any remainder as the new numerator and keep the old denominator. So let's look at an example. We have 10/4, just like we just saw. So first I need to say, what is 10 divided by 4? Or another way to think about it is how many times does 4 go into 10? And then what's left over? So when I ask myself, how many times does 4 go into 10? Well, we know 4, 8, 12. Well, 12 is too high, so it only goes in 2 full times, right? So that means we have 2 whole numbers. So we'll put that first, big whole number 2. Now, what's left over? Well, 2 4s equals 8, but to get to 10, we still have 2 left over. So that's going to be our numerator, and we're going to keep the 4 as a denominator. Now here, we actually have one additional step because we know that 2 2/4 can actually be simplified a bit more. 2/4 in its simplest form is 1/2. So our final answer here is 2 1/2. So here's some practice. What I'd invite you to do is pause your screen here. I will have the answers on the next slide, but if you would like to try these on your own, I would encourage you to do so. So pause now. Here are the answers to the questions we just looked at. So 21/4, we have to ask how many times does 4 go into 21? Well, it goes in 5 whole times, but that only gets us to 20. So we still have 1 left over to get to 21. So 5, whole number, and 1/4 is our final answer. How about 100/9, or 100/9? Well, how many times does 9 go into 100? It goes in total of 11 times, but that only gets us to 99. So we still have 1 left over. So we'll put that as our numerator and keep 9 as the denominator, 11 1/9. Now, even if we have bigger numbers, there's nothing to fret about. We have 248/124. Well, we just have to ask ourselves, how many times does 124 go into 248? And our final answer there is just 2. There's no remainder, so we don't need to have that fraction and make it a mixed number. In this case, our final answer is a whole number. Okay, so when we changed mixed numbers into improper fractions, we follow a different set of steps. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply the denominator of the fraction by the whole number and then add the numerator. Then then we take this number that we get out of that equation, and then we put it on the top of our fraction and keep the same old denominator. So here we have 1 3/4. So we're going to take the denominator 4, multiply it by the whole number, which is 1, and then add the numerator, which is 3. So 4 times 1 plus 3. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, and then if we add 3 to that, we get 7. So the improper fraction would be 7/4 because we keep the old denominator from the original mixed number. So here is some practice. Once again, I invite you to pause the video here so that you'll be able to participate in this practice on your own. See what you come up with. Are you able to change these mixed numbers to improper fractions? Pause now. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. So 5 1/4. Well, if we multiply 4 times 5, we get 20. And add 1, that's 21. So 21/4. 5 2/5. Well, if we multiply 5 times 5, that's 25. If we add 2 more, that's 27. And then we keep the same denominator, 27/5. 107/8. Doesn't matter how big the number is, we do the same process. So we say 8 times 100 would be 800. Add 7 to that, that's 807. And then we put it over 8. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn how to do improper fractions and mixed numbers back and forth and translating between the other. I so appreciate your time today, and you've done a great job learning this concept. I hope that you'll check out the Helms Academy on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel and checking out helmsacademy.org.